This is Boxing Tickets NI. We're joined with Rudy Farrell. How are you, Rudy?
Well, good. How's you, mate? How's the
I'm
form?
I'm in good form. We're 2 days away from obviously boxing returning to the UK. So probably more than anything, I think everybody's been fed up with no boxing to watch. So I think it keeps our mind off other things as well. So
Everyone will be
um,
looking forward to sitting down on Saturday here and watching the fights.
I was watching the press conference there at 2 o'clock. I was watching bits of it there. So good card to start off with, and obviously then we've with Sean McComb next week, and then Carl Frampton and Antoka Catch the week after that. So it's sort of warming us up for things to come.
Yes, definitely. There's good fights lined up here for February. Like,
Definitely is. So obviously I know we've done a couple of interviews with you in writing before, but it's the first time I sort of had you on
yep,
for obviously a video interview. So I guess obviously looking back, you've been a pro since 2018,
yeah,
but obviously you've yet to make your debut yet, and I guess in some ways it sort of shows that even when you are primed to make your debut, it can obviously be straightforward. So, you're supposed to make your debut in Mayo in the end of 2018.
yep,
Um, and obviously, it was then decided to leave you to a card closer to home to obviously help with ticket sales.
yeah.
And obviously, then your second fight fell through in the Devenish in 2019. So, how has it been sort of for you, Rudy, and obviously getting over the disappointment of obviously cancelled fight cards?
It was hard when I first heard when I was the fight on that Mayo card. It was a good opportunity. It was a packed, loads of good fights on it. We sat down and we said yes, and then we done the training and whatnot. And then John said to me, "It's going to cost you more." It was costing 1,200 for a bus alone to run down and come back up the same night. And
Mm-hmm.
then tickets weren't going good because it was a Mayo. So we just said we'll leave it. We'll continue to stay in camp, and that was it. And then Connor Slater contacted me saying, "I would love you to get on this October show in the Devenish." And we said, "Yes, we'll take it." We trained all over summer, right free. And then 2 weeks before the show, it cancelled it. It cancelled the whole show, and it literally broke me in two. But I trained so hard, and I was looking forward to it and putting on the show for everyone who was buying tickets and stuff. And I thought this was my time to get out and get my name out there, and it just crushed. Everything came down on top of me. It was hard.
Because obviously, you obviously have had some struggles with things and stuff as well, which obviously the
Yeah,
good news is you're obviously in the right path now. So I guess the sort of
yeah.
the good thing for you being so young is you sort of learned early on that boxing's just not all positives.
Yeah, I learned that bad stuff can happen. It's a matter you just have to take them with you and move on. Just continue to train, keep working hard, and your opportunity will come if you just keep working.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that, and that's one more.
It
Go
builds the
ahead, sorry.
foundations properly for you then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's but worked me up. So if I don't get out here in the next couple of months, I know what to do. Continue to train, and then when everything starts picking up, I'll get my opportunity.
And I guess obviously another Belfast pro in Padraig McCrory obviously didn't have an easy start to obviously life as a pro. I think he had a couple of cancelled fights. He made
Yeah,
his
I seen
debut
that.
in Ryan Burnett's world title fight, and then obviously had
Yeah,
I think 2 or 3 cancelled fights. So you can
yeah,
sort of
I
look the
know.
inspiration of others to help.
Yeah, I think every pro will eventually have a bad outcome. They'll get shows cancelled on them, but it's just a matter of picking yourself up and going back in the gym and learning and trying to improve and stuff till you get a fight in. That's all you can do.
Definitely, as I say, it's that right approach to have. So, sort of looking back, you're still obviously relatively young. What age did you start boxing at?
I think it was roughly when we brought me to the gym about 10, and it wasn't going to stick it out, but then all my mates were going. I just ended up just saying I'll stay at it, and then eventually when I about 12, I started getting good at it. I said I'm going to stick at this here. Started fighting in the Altrams and stuff, and the Ulsters and stuff. And I really did enjoy it, but I
And
had a
it was
mixture. It was between football and boxing.
and I think through your amateur career, I think you boxed through a few different gyms, didn't you?
Yeah, I started off in Newington, Patsy Quinn, for Bazaar for a good from was right up there was about 16 from 10 like, so about
Mm-hmm.
good 6 years. Spent most of my fights there, and then I went to Star ABC. It was a good club, but it just couldn't settle in. And then I went the Kronk ABC with Tony Dunlap. I didn't have any fight. I think I had one fight there, but wasn't really much amateurs there. It was more pros in Tony Dunlap's gym.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to Ledley Hall where the coaches had good belief in me. And I think I had fought in the Alters with Vehemence, I fought in the Anthems, got beat in the final by Barry McReynolds, who's a smashing boxer. And then I went on to fight in the Commonwealth qualifiers. Like I was beat in the quarterfinal by Ben Fern, who's another smashing boxer. So they got me good opportunities, but made me get better and believe in myself.
And obviously with when was the last time you boxed? You know, I know obviously you the amateur stuff, and then you come through the unlicensed circuit with Marty Hayes. So I guess obviously with Marty, I guess with the unlicensed circuit, as I was sort of speaking to him last week, it's obviously a good stepping stone for people to prepare for pro boxing, because you obviously have to sell tickets and you're getting used to fighting in front of crowds as well. So did the unlicensed circuit help you a good bit there, did it?
It did indeed. My first fight was down in Devenish against Jordan Woods, and at the start I was nervous. My mum and all didn't want me to do it because I was still young. I think I might have done that when I was 17 just, and they didn't want me doing it because no head guard in case I get hurt. But then I just said I'm going to go for it. It's what I want to do. So I done it. I must have sold about 40, 50 tickets down there. Like, it was packed out. And it felt good to be able to feel what it was like to get punched without a head guard, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but give you good preparation for obviously.
I didn't really think I was. Yeah, go ahead.
I say it gives you a good preparation, obviously, then for turning over pro. Obviously, just rather than going from wearing head guards to no head guards, it sort of gives you that in between sort of moment.
Yeah, it's really good preparation, like for the pro game, like.
And obviously since then you obviously had the cancelled fights and you've signed up with Boxing Ireland Promotions.
Yep.
How did that come about, and what was it that convinced you to sign with them?
I was talking to Stephen. I've been talking to Stephen since before, after same with Assassin Promotions, and then they folded. I started talking to Stephen Sharpe, and he said yes, you can sing with us. But then I waited a couple of months, and then I seen how many shows that just kept running and running, and that's the team you want to be with. You want to be kept busy. You want to be fighting 3-4 times a year, and that's the only team in Ireland at the minute who will be running shows.
Yeah, but obviously it's funny. I had an interview there earlier with Dylan Taylor, and it's, he was saying you did 3 shows in like 8 or 9 months, and all of them were sell-out shows, and they seem to be doing everything right for boxing in Belfast, and building quite a lot of boxers up here as well.
Yeah, they have loads of great boxers in their stable, and that's what you want. You want a team who's going to put you on shows, say one in Belfast, one in Dublin, and then maybe later in the year back in Belfast. Any boxer will be happy with 3 fights a year, like once the COVID situation goes away.
Definitely is. And I say, obviously, with the COVID and things like that as well, I guess obviously you're probably experienced enough now to know that fighting's not going to return anytime probably soon in Belfast. So potentially preparing to maybe fight away somewhere else instead.
Yeah, I've been talking to Leonard about trying to get a fight abroad. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the sponsors who said they're going to help me are going to come free and help me get my fight sorted.
And sponsors obviously are playing probably a bigger role, probably more than ever, because to go and fight abroad, you obviously have to pay for an opponent, pay for your flights, pay for your coaches, and pay for everything else. So it's really a good time for obviously sponsors to get involved and help them. Yeah,
it's really good. Without sponsors, you wouldn't be able to do this. And the sponsors I have been with me from the very first fight I've had a semi-pro, so they're loyal, and they said they will help me out.
Fantastic. And I say that's what we want, obviously.
To pay what to do at the pay for
the more there's obviously out there helping, obviously the more it's going to help bring your career on.
It's going to benefit me as well, and also promote their business as well.
Definitely is. Obviously, you've been with John Breen quite a while. Obviously, as you prepare to make your debut, and you've obviously now since linked up with Peter Graham as well. Obviously, with the whole COVID stuff going on, John's in the vulnerable category, and he can't obviously do as he normally does. So, how is obviously helping with Peter coming on board? How is that sort of helping you as well there?
Yeah, Peter Graham, I've done a couple, I think maybe 3 or 4 sessions with him just when I can get over with him. And I tell you what, the man is very knowledgeable. He's good what he does, like. we just clicked straight away and stuff. We got on, we had a laugh, and he put me through his paces. From the first session, I felt like I learned a lot from him. Even him and me and Dylan Taylor were like school sparring. And the things you just learn and pick up from Peter, what he's taught me in over in 4 sessions, has been unbelievable.
Yep, and obviously yourself and Dylan and Michael Corr, obviously all yet to make their debuts, and obviously you have Conor Quinn in there as well. So these are all within the same sort of age bracket, which can help each other along.
Yeah, it's a very good stable, but all we can do is push each other, learn from each other, and hopefully we all can get out and get our debuts together.
Definitely, fingers crossed. As I said, it's just obviously it's playing the Russian roulette with obviously all the COVID stuff as well.
That's all.
So were you fighting obviously in the unlicensed circuit? You actually fought another boxing Ireland promoter in Kelvin McDonald. How did that fight go? And I know you mentioned this recently that you'd love to do that fight again as a pro.
Yeah, the fight actually went good. The way we were told in the ring, he was up the first 2 rounds and I won the last 2. And someone come up to us and said, "Listen, he needs to win this round. If he wins this fight, I have to have it as a draw or something." So we went out and I thought I knew I won the round. And then when obviously I came out, I couldn't believe it, I beat him. And then 2 weeks later, he came out and said I cheated or something. He came out with all this fucking mad shit, saying I cheated. But I said a couple weeks ago or something, I said to Peter about the fight, and Peter said to me that him and Dennis, they don't want it. So don't think it will happen anytime soon, but I would love it to happen. I think it'll be a good fight.
Maybe a potential Celtic title fight down the line somewhere. I know obviously Kelvin's coming off obviously his first defeat.
You understand
there as well. So
you understand, you don't want to be taking a risky fight without they're coming off at loss. So maybe if I get 2 free fights, he gets another 2 free fights. Why not? We'll go for the Celtic title. We'll go at it. Be a great fight.
Definitely. And what sort of weight class are you going to be campaigning at?
I think I was going to go to super bantamweight, but at the minute I don't know whether it's going to be super bantamweight or featherweight. But I could make I was nearly making bantamweight there at the start of the year. That's how hard it was training and how the weight was coming off me. But at the minute, super bantamweight is on my radar.
It's on your radar as well. And obviously, as I say, whenever you obviously do get the chance to turn over, I'm obviously guessing you like to be kept very active.
Yeah, I want to fight 3 times a year. I'll be happy with that, and anything over it, it's a bonus. You know what I mean? So if I can get 3 fights a year, I'll be very, very happy. I want to get kept busy.
And obviously, what have you thought of? You know, I know you've obviously Ryan Burnett would probably been your big idol sort of growing up. Obviously, looking at Ryan's career and obviously how quickly it ended, I'm obviously guessing you're not sort of counting your chickens before they hatch in boxing. You're going to make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm going to make a most of it. That's all you can do, and hopefully one day I can be sitting at the top with 2 world titles, or even the Celtic title, the Irish title, and the British title. If I can achieve anything of that there, what I just said, I'll be a very, very happy man.
And obviously, what have you thought of the pandemic with the boxing and things like that? Who sort of impressed you the most, and what are you sort of looking forward to? It's coming up.
It's the one who stand out the most has to be James Tennyson. The boy is a knockout artist. It just goes to show you his last 6 fights. The boy's not messing about.
And it's obviously a good sort of role model to have, because he sort of come up in the small hall show market with Mark Dunlop, and he's taking his opportunities when he's got them.
He's taking his opportunities big time with both hands, because me and James, we would have been close. We would have bought tickets of him when he was fighting down the Odyssey on Burnett, and he would have always, after he would have come up to his belts and stuff. So he was really close to me then.
And obviously, he'll obviously help a big style when you do turn over as well, because I'm sure he'll obviously pass on good advice to you as well.
Yes, he's always said he would always bring me over to the gym and help show me some stuff. So I think James is a very good man, and I believe that his time is coming to be a world champion.
Fingers crossed. Obviously, I know he's had one bite of the cherry so far with the Tevin Farmer fight, but you know, you just obviously, I think everybody's seeing now the real potential of him as a lightweight and what he's going to do.
He's learned from that loss. It's just made him better, more hungrier to go and get that world title in the lightweight division.
Definitely. I say fingers crossed and that works out the way. Obviously we're turning into now a busy spell for Irish boxing as well. You know, you've Sean McComb out next weekend, Carl Frampton
Yep.
and Toka Catch out the weekend after that, and then you've Hilo's fight coming up, Lewis Crocker, Gary Cully, Sean McComb. There's quite a lot of obviously of talents come up, but it's probably only come out the last few years, so probably gives you something to look at in a few years down the line. Do you think that you could be up there mixing as well and getting big fights?
Or hopefully one day on a big show, or maybe out a big show at the bar or something. Just it's them kind of things you put the work in for to be able to say one day, fuck, I actually done that. You know what I mean?
Yep, definitely. It's taking every one day at a time.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to else should add in the interview, or?
Just well, I've been talking to Pete Taylor, and he's been asking me to come down maybe next week or the week up there to help spar with Gary Cully and do a couple rounds with him. Like, so we're waiting on John, and I haven't said to Peter yet, but I rung John the other day and stuff. So we're maybe going down for a couple of days to spar with Gary Cully. It's all about the experience. I know he can bring me on as a better fighter as well. So fingers crossed.
And I say obviously been in the knowledge of Pete Taylor there as well. He's obviously daughter Katie's done a ring as a boxer as well. So if you can learn something, it's worth it.
Yeah, but we to go down and spar with Gary, who's probably the number one lightweight at the minute in Ireland, and so it only can bring me on and also learn stuff from Pete as well. So it's something I'm even looking forward to.
You might need a step ladder to get up to Gary.
I may bring my ladder with me. I have one there in the cupboard.
I think he's 6'1" or 6'2" as a lightweight. It's freakish size for a lightweight.
His arms, so I may stay the reins too.
It definitely was. But listen, Rudy, obviously it was lovely chatting with you. We obviously hope that you have some fight news soon, because it's been a tough couple of years for you, and hopefully that good news comes.
Crossed, and hopefully I'm out in the next 6 to 8 weeks. If I'm not out in the Luxembourg card, I've been told I'll be out in April on a show, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to stay in the gym ready, and my time's coming.
Fantastic. Happy days. Well, thanks very much for obviously having an interview with us, and we wish you all the very best.
Yes, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.